Okay, part 3. Helping your friends with their career uncertainties forces you to take a closer look at your own. To be clear, I don't want to take a lot of tests. I don't want this to be a regular thing that we do. But the newts will happen eventually, but as a one-off, it's kind of a nice change of pace. I don't know how we're going to revise for Balaji in the library, other than I guess we're just reading about plants. Shh! Oh no! I'm turning into Madam Pince!
Tulip's toad, Dennis, has been chasing Madam Pince around the library for hours.
Really?
My idea of a perfect library is one with no people. Just books. Maybe a stack of books that kind of looks like a person, so I can still shh at it occasionally. There you are, Will and Tonks. We can finally get started. Wait, where's your textbook, Tulip? Oh no, I'm no expert, but don't you need books to revise? We would if we were actually going to revise.
You never had any intention of revising, did you, Tulip?
That's right, I actually called you here to play a trick on revising students.
That is mean. And brilliant. Gotta prank a little bit, we're still dressed the part. That sounds brilliant, but actually revising sounds even better.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but I agree. The owls are important, Tulip. They determine our future. Don't you think I know that?
Why are you so hesitant to revise, Tulip? Are you afraid of the owls? Did an owl once hoot at your parents, causing a tragic accident?
No, it's complicated.
Then why don't you think about how to explain it while we're revising for herbology?
I don't really have a choice, do I?
No, because I want to get perfect O's on everything. O's across the board. All right.
All right, Will, I think I'm ready to talk. The truth is, it's not the owls I have a problem with. It's deciding what I want to do after graduation.
Well, I'm similarly undeclared, so...
Everyone seems to know what they want to do after Hogwarts. Tonks wants to be an R, Charlie a dragonologist, Andre a keeper, Penny a potioneer, but I have no clue. Professor Flipper keeps asking me what I want to do, but all I know is that I don't want to end up like my parents. Working for the ministry, upholding pointless rules that make people miserable. I've only been avoiding revising because I wanted to avoid having to make a decision. Oh, I'm sorry, Tulip. I hope all my aura talk didn't upset you. It's okay, Tonks. I'm happy for you. It's just... We're only 5th years. Is it really that bad that I don't know what I want to do with my life yet?
Yes, it's terrible. You're the worst, Tulip. Begone from my sight. No, of course it's... You know what, Tulip? No, I don't think it is, because I don't know either. To tell you the truth, I haven't decided on what career I want to pursue either. In fact, I'm probably just as afraid of being pressured into a decision as you. But while I'm still not sure what I'm going to say when Sprout asks me again, I know I want to do my best on my owls, so I'm able to do what I want when I do make a decision.
That makes a lot of sense.
The better you do, the more options you have for what you can get into. But if you fail stuff, you kind of may get pigeonholed in somewhere that you maybe didn't have your sights on.
It might be too late for the first 3 owls, but at least I can salvage the last 4.
4? How many tests am I taking?
I'll be happy to help bring you up to speed. Thanks, WillBits, Tonks.
No problem, Tulip. It's nice to know that I'm not alone in knowing what career to choose.
As undecideds, we have to stick together.
Now let's get ready to take the herbology owl. Ooh, okay. Brush up on your herbs, the herbology owl will begin shortly. Oh dear, I waited for my energy to refill. And I should not have. Alright, see you guys in 3 hours. Okay, herbology time! Let's get through these tests. We got so many to do. I guess we're about halfway through now, though, so that's something. If my calculations are correct, I've got at least exceed expectations on every owl so far.
If you become a herbologist, I hope you'll grow potions for me. Potion ingredients for me.
I'll try, Penny. We'll see what to do.
If I literally turn my thumb green, will I get a better score?
Can't hurt. Unless the green paint is toxic and kills a plant. I think that might be the most interested you've ever looked while revising, Tulip.
Very funny, Will, but I'm not actually revising.
You're not planning on pulling a trick during the herbology L, are you? Should I know? Should I hide?
No, I'll save that for the newts. Actually, I was just thinking about careers and what you told me back at the library. I'm undecided for now, but eventually I'm gonna have to choose. So I thought I might as well start exploring my options.
That's surprisingly mature of you, Tulip.
I know, and it almost killed me to say it. Let's just say I took a cue from my favorite fellow undecided friend.
Is that... You're talking about Dennis, aren't you? We have to stick together, right? Good luck on the rest of your owls, Tulip.
Thanks, WillBits, you too.
Alright, okay. Let's get through this. Congratulations, students. As of this Balaji owl, you will be halfway through your exams. I hope you'll continue to give it your all in this exam, starting as usual with the written portion, which will test your understanding of plants and their magical uses. Let us begin. Plants, 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 plants. I knew the answer to those earlier questions right away, but I'm gonna have to really think about these ones. Let's see. Touching the trunk of a wigging tree protects you from dark creatures. That shows up a lot, actually, in the other herbology questions. What are nettles known for? It's their stinging hairs, which I think I've talked about before as a, like, nettles are a mundane ingredient. We have those. IRL. Ireland. I'll need to be careful with the next section. My plant facts are all blurring together. Do the following is not another name for belladonna. Deadly nightshade is. Flitter bloom is not. I think it's Atropa. Yeah. Yeah. What does Mimbulus Mimbletonia use as a defense mechanism? Thorns, poison. No. It's stanky. It got that stank. So that you can't thank. Alright. Easy questions for herbology. Professor Sprout told me to keep an eye out for you, Mr. Bits, and now I see why. If you've not already made up your mind, you may want to consider a career in herbology. You think so? Well, your root handling could use a bit of polish, but you certainly show promise. I'd recommend you at least consider becoming an herbalist. What do you think? I will consider it. I'll consider everything. I think I will consider becoming an herbologist, Professor Tofty. I do enjoy working with plants and herbology. See, perhaps herbology is just the career to put your search at an end. Though I imagine compared to curse breaking, being a simple herbologist is rather dull. But that's enough for now. Why don't we call it a day? I have a revision group for the Care Magical Creatures owl to get to anyway. I'll talk to you later, Professor. Just clicking through all of the tests. I'm in the Forbidden Forest Grove, ready to revise. Harry, I need all the help I can get. I gotta wonder what happens if you, like, make it through all of these classes within the time limit, but go out of your way to intentionally fail every question and every little timed activity. I don't want to do that, because I would rather get them all right. But if I had, like, a second account going, it would be really interesting to have a fail run of this event to see if they're like, wow, you're really struggling, or what they would even, like, do they just give you failing marks? What does that mean for everything? I'm so curious!
Good idea to set our Care Magical Creatures revision group in the Forbidden Forest, Will.
I figured if we're gonna revise creatures, we might as well surround ourselves with them. Plus, I can search for dragons while we revise. Yeah, it's great. I love creatures, being in the forest, having friends. What's wrong, Barnaby?
You're usually thrilled to go outside the castle.
This might come as a surprise to you, but I'm not the smartest wizard at Hogwarts. And I'm not so good at exams, so I've been worrying. Well, if I don't get a good enough score on my Care Magical Creatures out to become a magic zoologist. That won't happen. Let's just boost his confidence. That won't happen, Barnaby. You love creatures and you've studied loads for this owl. You're just naturally gonna be good at this. You really think so? I know so.
That's right, Barnaby. I have seen the way you've holed yourself up in the library to revise this past year. And you hate the library, so that's really saying something.
You're right, Barnaby. You know just as much about creatures as any of us. Thank you, everyone. I feel a bit better about my chances now. I'm so good that I'm not even going to take the test. Thanks, your confidence trick's really paying off. But I'm still worried I'm not smart enough.
That's not true, Barnaby, and we'll prove it. Now, why don't you ask Barnaby an exam question? I'm sure he'll get it right.
Oh, we're doing this again. I'm gonna do the button. Ask about fairy eggs. All right, Barnaby. Which creature is known to eat fairy eggs? Auguries. No, it was a trick question. Fairies don't lay eggs. They're mammals. Barnaby, you stupid. You stupid. No, I mean, Bowtruckles. Actually, that's correct. My apologies. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was merely calling for my missing Bowtruckles. You lost your Bowtruckles, Professor Kettleburn? Unfortunately, a few of them got loose, but I'm sure I saw one headed this way. So, would you mind helping me look for him? Sure, Professor. I think Barnaby could use a break anyway. Alright. 3 hours of playing Find the Bowtruckle. Let's see what we can do. The best part about this whole thing is that a professor definitely just caught us all just casually hanging out in the Forbidden Forest and is like, that's no big deal. Oh, by the way, can you help me find my Bowtruckles? Found it! Found the missing Bowtruckle. Well done, lad. Hold on, I recognize that Bowtruckle. It's Barnaby Jr. He looks very distinct somehow. Spot on, Mr. Bits! You named a Bowtruckle after me? That's finally paying off, huh? I'm honored. No one's ever named something after me before. I named him, but still wasn't able to find him. How'd you do it, Barnaby? It was easy, really. I remembered Bowtruckles prefer wiggin trees, so I started there. Then I remembered Bowtruckles eat wood lice, so I looked for the wiggin tree that had the most. Very smart, Mr. Lee. How would you look for... Okay, sure. It seems you're quite the budding young magic zoologist. Really? Is that true? Of course, my name's not Sylvanus Kettleburn, and it isn't. Now, if you don't mind, I've got to get this wee one back to his branch. Thank you for all your help. See, Barnaby? I knew you had all that knowledge in you. You just need to have more confidence in yourself. You're right, Will. I feel more prepared than ever to take on this exam. You'll be a great magic zoologist one day, Barnaby. I'm sure of it. Actually, Will, I could say the same to you. Me? A magic zoologist? Working at a magic zoo? Why not? Quizzing Barnaby clearly demonstrated you know magical creatures.
And you do have a way with Sickleworth.
So what do you think, Will? Would you consider becoming a magic zoologist? I'll keep it in mind. I do love magical creatures. I'm definitely keep becoming a magic zoologist in mind. Good, I think you'd really enjoy it, Will.
One of us! One of us!
One of us! One of us! Well, I'd say we've studied enough for one day. Don't need to have any more movies quoted at me. Now all that's left is to take care of the magical creature owl. Alright, tests. The time is a-clickin'. So to class, you'll need every possible minute for your care of magical creature's owl. That's true. I don't know how much is going to be involved in the 4th part. We're really moving.
I only studied creatures that eat other creatures.
They're called creaturevores.
But don't laugh if I end up kicked by a Pollock.
Oh, I'll laugh a little. Only a little. And then I'll feel bad and I'll help. But I will laugh a little.
My mom foresaw me doing well on this exam.
Your mom? Am I supposed to know who your mom is? Because I don't. You're certainly looking more confident, Barnaby. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about you, Will. Barnaby's right. You look worried. What's the matter? At the end of our exams, Professor Sprout's going to ask again what I want to do after Hogwarts. But I'm still not sure I have an answer.
You'll figure out what's right for you, Will. I just know it.
Thanks, Liz. I know this is important, but for now, why don't you just focus on the care of magical creatures owl. You wouldn't want to be so distracted that you do poorly on the exam. Sounds like good advice, Charlie. I think I'll take it. Alright. Let's get the exam going. Good day, budding young magic zoologists. Today we'll take your care of magical creatures owl. Well, I know you are eager to get to the creatures. We will once again begin with the written exam. It is time to test your knowledge of the needs, habitats, and behaviors of magical creatures. All right. That first section was easy compared to this one. How often does a steeler's shell change color? Every minute would be crazy. Every second would be like a rave. I think it's every hour. Let's see. Porlocks guard herds of what non-magical creatures? They constantly talk about how much they look like horses and hang out with horses and are horse whisperers, and they yell so much that their throats become hoarse. So it's horse. Alright. I bet Newt Scamander would even find some of these next questions tricky. Which of the following creatures eat fairy eggs? We asked Barnaby about this. The answer is bowtruckles. He guessed auguries and was wrong. Although maybe if you served them with a little spice, a little garnish, maybe they would. Bowtruckles are especially fond of what tree? That's Wigan trees. We had 2 questions that we just immediately had an adventure feeding us the answers for. They really want you to at least pass this class. Just a few pages left. See you after the practicals. Now let's continue on with the rest of the practical exam. Sure would be interesting if like all the animals we have in our personal stable had like factored into this in some way at all. But it's fine. It's good that you can pass based on the merits of what you're doing right now, and not what you've been doing up until this point. Professor Kettleburn told me you have quite a way with creatures. It seems he was right. I've had my fair share of experiences with magical creatures, and not always the friendly kind. Oh, any interesting creatures you'd like to tell? Worked with a Niffler, fought off an Acromantula, fended off a Chimera. That one's the button. I think Acromantula is more interesting, actually, but we'll say the button. I did fend off a Chimera. There was a Chimera in a cursed vault? Who said anything about a cursed vault? The Chimera was one of Professor Kettleburn's creatures that escaped. I helped him get it back. Oh, I see. Somehow I'm not surprised he managed to lose a Chimera. Still, confronting a Chimera and living to tell the tale is quite a feat. I feel like we were throwing Kettleburn under the bus way hard right there, and that could have gone very poorly for him. Fortunately, Tofty's chill. Perhaps as a sign, you should consider a career as a magic zoologist. Maybe too chill. Maybe too chill, Tofty! You sound like a few of my friends. They think I should be a magic zoologist too, but I'm not sure. Well, it's been some time since I've seen a student with such promise. If there's anything I can do to help you decide and not waste your potential, I would be happy to do it. Thank you, Professor Tofty. But I better get going. I promised Vidia I'd revise History of Magic with her in the library. Her least favorite subject. We want to keep her waiting. Let's talk again soon. Yes, let's. I've got a table in the library to revise History of Magic. Don't keep me waiting. I will fall asleep and die of boredom. Same, Vidia. Same. If I don't pass my hours, I'll be history.
Have you students never heard of quiet revision?
No, doesn't seem effective. If the exam was on the history of Quidditch, I'd be guaranteed an O. Oh, show you my O face. Thanks for getting us a table, Vidia. I should be thanking you for agreeing to revise History of Magic with me. I was having a hard time getting through the material on my own. Memorizing all these facts and dates would be easier if we revised together. Besides, I doubt I'd be able to get my mind off careers and on History of Magic without help. Why don't we begin by quizzing each other on some of the material? Sounds good. Ask me a History of Magic question first. Button seems to have been consistently useful. So, the soap blizzard of 1378. What followed the soap blizzard of 1378? Perhaps the question was too vague. Should I try something else? Vidia? Hello? What? I'm sorry, I got distracted envisioning how I'd convey Madame Pince's love of silence in a portrait. It's a little abstract. I can't blame you. Pince's exam topics are almost always as dry and dull as his lectures. It's hard to think about the past when it's the future I'm really worried about. Who realistically remembers what the soap blizzard of 1378 led to anyway?
The soap blizzard of 1378 preceded the 14th century economic crash. Esmeralda?
How'd you know the answer to that question?
Because I like history, obviously.
You do? We never talk, Esmeralda.
Of course, history is full of death, wars, suffering, secrets. What could be more interesting than that? That makes sense in an Esmeralda sort of way.
But you always sleep through history of magic.
You would too if you already knew everything that was being taught. Look, do you want my help revising or not?
You want to help us revise for history of magic? Why?
Because if I have to hear you complain anymore, I'll go mad. And I still owe you for having me confess my feelings for Barnaby.
Thank you, Esmeralda. That's surprisingly nice of you.
Yeah, now let's get started before I change my mind.
Alright, we're gonna spend 3 hours studying. Alright, enough studying. I really like Esmeralda being good at it, though.
I didn't know revising for history of magic would be so interesting.
You really are a history buff, Esmeralda.
Yes, well, you're not as ignorant in the subject as I thought you'd be either, Bits. You still have a long way to go, but you might make a halfway decent magical historian one day.
No. I'll pass. I enjoyed our revision session, but I don't think I could handle a whole career in magic history.
It's for the best. You'd probably find it too intense.
Whatever you say, Esmeralda.
Here's one last piece of advice for you, Bits. Watch your back!
What'd you put on here?
Someone's been spying on you this entire time.
Is it Tofty? Spying on me? What are you talking about?
There you are, Esmeralda. I've been waiting for you in the common room for ages. Let's go! Coming. Well, that's certainly concerning.
I better ask her about it again when I see her for the history of Magic Owl. Okay, part 3 is complete. Part 4, with your follow-up careers advice session looming and the identity of your spy still a mystery. Will you be able to make the grade? I feel like we've been doing pretty well so far. Don't be late for your history of Magic Owl. I'd hate to dock points for tardiness. Okay.
I think better when I'm dancing, so I'm just going to be dancing through this entire test. That won't be distracting, will it?
I can't sleep through this one, can I? Have you given any more thought to becoming a professor? That would be the way to keep us in Hogwarts. Esmeralda, I was hoping we could talk about what you said in the library about someone spying on me.
Can't you see I'm busy preparing for the exam? Figure it out on your own!
Just tell me who it is! Ugh, well that wasn't helpful.
It really makes you wonder if Esmeralda is actually telling the truth. What do you think?
Yeah, she's not good enough at, like, bluffing this. I think she is telling the truth. Considering I've been threatened by dark wizards, being spied on seems like a real possibility.
Unfortunately, you do have a point, and I can't see why Esmeralda would lie. Though I can't help but wonder if this is all some sort of cruel joke.
Nah, either way, I suppose it can't hurt to keep my guard up. But let's just take the test. Let's get moving. You're in the final stretch now, students. Today you'll be taking the history of Magic Owl. Given the nature of this class, there will be no practical exam. Oh, it's just questions. So the exam will be entirely composed of a written portion. Now let's hear while you've memorized important dates, names, and events in wizarding history. Probably not well. Unless I'm cheating. Autoquill, go. That was fairly common knowledge, but these questions are much more obscure. Which clause in the Code of Wand Use prohibits non-humans from using wands? Clearly clause 3. Everybody knows all of the Code of Wand Use. You have to read it and sign it before you get to have a wand. So you guys know. What event followed the soap blizzard of 1378? That would have been the economic crash. The wizarding economic crash. Gringotts was Sinkgotts. Why did Liechtenstein not attend the first meeting of the International Confederation of Wizards? Because of how they felt about trolls. And how much they just wanted to troll the Confederation by not showing up. In what year was Gringotts Wizarding Bank founded? This shows up a lot in the other questions. It was actually founded in the earliest date, 1474. All right. Jeez, oh yeah, there's just 2 more questions. Normally we just do 4 and then we're done. Need to make sure I don't mix up all the names and dates on these tricky questions. How many times did Wendelin the Weird allow herself to be caught by witch hunters? Oh, it's a lot. Those are all large numbers. You'd think they'd have like one like, only twice. But the answer is actually the middle one, 47. 47 times. And yet they never managed to kill her. Or did they? Find out more at your local library. Who killed Emmerich the Evil in a duel? It'd be funny if it was Godalot, because it'd be Godalot versus evil, good versus evil. It was Egbert the Egregious. He was a bit much. What goblin led the 18th century goblin rebellions? Urg the Unclean? Just giving you guys the answers at this point. There's no way of knowing these unless you're just, like, going through the wiki or looking them up somewhere. Because they don't tell you this stuff in any of our lectures. What was the primary reason for the creation of the International Statute of Wizarding Secrecy? It was persecution by Muggles. Didn't like the Muggles, they disliked us. And they were very mean. And they used their technology to persecute us in ways that we didn't want to deal with anymore. My hand's starting to cramp. Thankfully, I'm almost done with this section. I think that's got us done. I hope all those dates and names didn't mix you up. Not too badly, though I do worry I may have confused Emmerich the Evil for Uruk the Oddball. It happens all the time. They're both terrible. Perhaps one day it'll be your name they're confusing for someone else. Why do you say that? Is my name confusing? It seems pretty short. Wizards and witches have been searching for centuries to discover the secrets of the cursed vaults. Secrets you are now uncovering. I'd say you're making wizarding history right now. Well, I hope so. I'd love to end up in a history of magic textbook one day. Well, I would say you're well on your way, protagonist. Though I'd advise you not to let your quest for adventure lead you down the wrong path. The dark side of magic. Dark arts. Actually, as a history buff myself, I'd love to hear more on what you've learned about the cursed vaults.
Well, I've been looking for you. Not to interrupt, but Marul and I were about to practice for defense against the Dark Arts Owl. I thought you might care to join us.
You should go. Never pass up an opportunity to learn, I always say.
That sounds great, Diego. I'll meet you at the training grounds.
All right.
I'm waiting in the training ground, eager to see how your spell work has improved.
2 of 5. We're just clicking on through our defense against the dark arts stuff, our training, our owls. I think this is the last test. Thanks for inviting me to train for defense against the dark arts owl with you, Diego. And if someone's actually spying on me, I could use all the training I can get.
You're welcome, Will, but it was actually Marula's idea.
Diego, you were never supposed to tell him that.
I know, that's why I did.
Then don't be surprised when a rogue Deprimo spell blasts a hole through you instead of the floor.
Well, I had no idea you were concerned about me getting good marks at school.
I figured you could use all the help you can get. If we have to work together to find the cursed vaults, I can't have you being a liability. After all, I bet you don't even know the incantation of the snake vanishing spell.
Serpent Sortia is the snake creating spell. And these two are suspiciously similar, but the correct one is Evanesca. Vipera Evanesca.
Lucky guess.
I think we could all stand a bit of review. So let's start practicing our spells.
Okay. Let's just get it moving. Alright. That's enough practice.
Your spellwork is as impressive as ever, Will. You'd make a fine duelist.
As if Bits would consider becoming anything but a curse breaker.
I just want to find my brother. I don't know about becoming a professional curse breaker. I really just want to find my brother.
You don't? I just assumed you did, considering all you've done with the cursed vaults and rake pick.
Not the only one. Everyone seems to expect I'll become a curse breaker, but I'm just not sure if it's the right choice for me.
Though you do have experience in curse breaking.
And I guess you might have a little potential.
Thanks, I'll consider that a huge compliment, Marula. Exploring different careers and getting advice from my friends is supposed to help me decide. But instead, I'm more confused than ever.
Not to mention the owls are almost over. You're gonna have to decide soon.
You're not helping, Marula. For once, I'm glad Dumbledore wants to see me in his office. I can ask him for advice while I'm there. Dumbledore's just gonna confuse you. He always has cryptic answers. Come to my office now, WillBits. There's something important you need to hear. Alright. Consult with the Dumbledore. What's up? Albus? You can call me Al. Ah, there you are, Mr. Bits. You're early. Our other guest has yet to arrive. Other guest? But I was hoping we could discuss careers. You and me? Best friendies? Besties? And we will, but for now I suggest you look for a place to hide. You have any recommendations? Am I gonna get under your desk? Is this gonna get weird? Okay. Find a hiding place. 8 hours? What am I, made of time over here? Shouldn't take this long to find a place to hide. Alright. Let's jump somewhere quick. Oop. Knew it. Hey, what did you say, me, Albus? Yes, actually, I had hoped we could discuss why you have been monitoring Mr. Bits. I'm afraid I don't know what you're talking about. You always were a terrible liar. How long have you known? I've had my suspicions since the beginning. I should have known better than to think I could keep secrets from you, Albus. Very well. The Ministry is troubled by the situation concerning the cursed vaults, particularly given reports that a group of dark wizards may be actively pursuing them. Due to Mr. Bits' personal involvement with the cursed vaults, and the concern that he may be in some way connected to these dark wizards, the Ministry thought it prudent to use your status as an examiner to spy on a student. I didn't want to take the assignment, Albus, but they insisted this was an opportunity they couldn't ignore. I hope you don't think too badly of me. Especially considering I know you tasked August Filch with monitoring me. Surely you know how it is. I understand. Thank you, Albus. Tofty, you a baddie! I can't believe Professor Tofty was gathering information on me for the Ministry. Esmeralda told me someone was spying on me, but for it to have been Professor Tofty. I appreciate you letting me hear all that, Professor. Since you were hoping for advice, allow me to finally give you some. Many people have expectations of you, both good and bad. While it can be helpful to take others' opinions into account, ultimately only you know what's best for yourself. Spoken like a true headmaster, or a fortune cookie. I have been known to be one on occasion. Not a headmaster, a fortune cookie. I disguise myself as one and sit in a bag of Chinese food. Thank you again, Professor Dumbledore. You weird man. Good luck on your final owl, Mr. Bits. Or as I've been told, muggles rather violently say, break a foot. Get a hammer and just right on the foot. It's leg. Break a leg. Okay, 5 hours before the last one, so we're gonna have to do that in the morning. Whew, your last task quickly approaching. Take this remaining time to prepare. I will. There's enough time left in this that I can knock this out first thing. Alright, let's take the last owl. Making me wait the whole friggin' time on this stuff. I had a nightmare my quill ran out of ink mid-exam. And then I finished it with my own blood.
I'm going to make Red Pig proud.
It's a nice, non-adversarial comment, Marula.
There better not be any pixies in this exam. I hate pixies. I'll kill them. If there's a question about them, I'm going to tear up the paper. Yeah.
It's finally time for your last exam, the Defense Against the Dark Arts Owl. I must say I'm looking forward to seeing the results of your studies with Professor Rakepick. Perhaps afterward we can discuss more of your curse-breaking adventures, and you can tell me all about all of the things that you've done and things that maybe you shouldn't have done. Actually, Professor Tofty, there's a lot I'd like to tell you. Excellent. I look forward to our talk. We're gonna prank you. You see this hat? That means you're gonna get ever bashed by a boomerang. I got a box of them, and I could spare a couple. Okay. Test time! This is it, students, the moment I'm sure many of you have been waiting for, your final owl. We will wrap up your examinations with Defense Against the Dark Arts. This written exam will test your familiarity with the incantations and uses of defensive spells. Without further ado, let's begin. Should be a good one. I got through that first section easily enough, but this next one looks too tough. The snake vanishing spell. We just had this question from Marula. It's Evanesca. Thanks, Marula, for quizzing us on an important question. I think they set those up just so that even if you're really unprepared, you don't, like, bomb it. You don't bomb everything. Which of these scenarios would you use the impediment jinx? Impediment is kind of binding, but this is to slow a rushing opponent. It doesn't really keep them in place. It's not like handcuffs. There's a different spell for that. Hope I can remember the answers to these next few questions. What does the Reductor curse do? It really sounds like it should reduce an object's size, but it blasts objects into pieces. This is my magic spell. Let me cast it. It'll blast you. Okay, enough music. What's the incantation for the tongue-tying curse? It's not Impedimenta. Incarcerus is the other one I was talking about. It's the Mimblewimble. The curse that's also fun to say. Alright, now we'll just get through the practical and then we're almost done! That concludes your defense against the Dark Arts Owl, and your owls in general. Congratulations, you have now completed all of them. You will receive your results later. It's been an honor being your examiner. I hope you will be pleased with your results. Now, you mentioned you had something you wanted to tell me. I know the Ministry asked you to spy on me. Oh dear. I suppose you probably have some questions for me. Are you suspicious of me? Yeah. I bet his help wasn't an act. He's genuinely a helpful person who's been put up to this. Are you suspicious of me? Do you think I'm working for some organization of dark wizards to take whatever's in the cursed vaults? Of course not. In fact, getting to know you has made me more certain of that fact than ever. The Ministry seems to think otherwise. The Ministry is just concerned you're being used or targeted by dark wizards. Wizards who would use the cursed vaults to do you and others harm. And I, for one, would hate to see a young wizard with so much potential go down that path. I appreciate you being open with me, Professor Tofty. I figured it was about time. Just like it's about time for me to follow up with Professor Sprout about my career path. Hard decisions! Let the Great Hall stop by and we can discuss your future plans. I don't know what to put for this! I've just been saying yes to almost everything. Do I have to pick, and are the results gonna be binding?
We've got weeks worth of mischief to make up for. My quill hand still hurts after all those written exams. If I ever have to take an exam again, it'll be too soon.
You have another one in 2 years.
That's too soon. Well, you're just in time. We were all discussing how we thought we did on the owls.
Actually, Penny, I'm supposed to be meeting Sprout to discuss careers. Have you seen her?
A 7th year pulled her aside a minute ago. I imagine she'll be back soon. In the meantime, why don't you join us?
I'll take you up on the invitation, Penny. I'm anxious to hear what everyone thought about the owls. All right, 3 hours. And I'm gonna do this one proper. Because time is running short. All right, let's get our grades. Do some actual schoolwork.
I apologize for keeping you waiting. You said you wanted to follow up on our career advice session.
I took your suggestion and explored different career options while taking my owls.
Last time we talked, you didn't have any career ideas. Did you coming to me mean you've chosen a career you explored while taking the owls?
I'm waiting to decide. I've made a decision, but probably not what you think. I've decided that I'm not ready to decide. My friends and professors helped me realize there's lots of possible careers I want to explore further first. So for now, I hope it's alright if I remain undecided.
Of course, the goal of the career advice was not to force you to make a decision, but to get you to thinking of what you might want to do and how to achieve it, which you clearly have been doing.
Sorry if this disappointed anybody, because I did not pick one. I don't even know if that was an option.
I should continue to take opportunities to explore different careers over the next 2 years.
We still have 2 years to figure it out. If you guys want to talk amongst yourselves over which of these careers, I don't even know what that means in the context of this game, but something to start thinking about. Thank you, Professor Sprout.
You're welcome, Mr. Bits. Despite what you students may think at times, we professors do want to help you succeed.
Even Professor Snape?
Even Professor Snape.
Roll your eyes as hard as you like, Severus. You're a little too hard on everybody. Excuse me, Pomona. Pomona? Well, familiar, but do you mind if I borrow Mr. Bits?
Go right ahead.
I'll be heading out shortly, but before I leave, I wanted to wish you luck. It's been an honor being your examiner. I speak on behalf of myself and the ministry when I say I'm eager to see what your future has in store.
Thank you, Professor Tofty.
Do you think I did well on my owls? You'll have to see for yourself. Whoop, let's pop it open. Oh no, we got a 0 on everything? We completely failed. 7-0, oh, it's a O. That's the best possible grade. Cheating prevails! Yes! I like the trolling that we do where A is like a C. Because we're so used to the lettered grading system, most of us. Okay. That gets us the opportunity to do all kinds of stuff. Maybe. I'm curious if that'll actually be a restriction for somebody later. Oh! Rewards. Do we get 2 necklaces? Ooh, necklaces. We are going to look at that. But that's the event complete for now. Let's hop on out and we're gonna check out. Can I even see them on this outfit? I can. Wait, no, that's not it. There's a silver owl and a golden. It's really big, actually. I thought it was gonna be like a little locket, but it's like a big medallion. We're gonna wear this for now. I like it. Yeah. All right, that's all for the owls. Maybe we get some plot coming up soon, but that's all for this one. Bye for now.